Most people pick up their phones to relax. After a long day, the screen offers a promise of downtime. Yet 30 minutes later, the body often feels tense, the mind clouded by a specific, hollow anxiety. This is a state of modern burnout. It is the weight of the infinite scroll, a stream of social comparisons and fragmented noise that leaves the viewer more exhausted than they were before they started. This exhaustion is not a personal failure or a wandering mind. It is the result of a machine designed to farm human attention. While the body remains still, the screen extracts mental energy. It converts biological responses into persistent data, mining the viewer's cognitive focus to sustain its own operation. On the other side of the feed, engineering teams view the audience as raw material for a broader extraction engine. Performance is measured in specific quantitative units. A person becomes a data point, defined by average view duration and click-through rate. These architects use visual chaos and manufactured conflict to trigger the brain's evolutionary threat response. A thumbnail featuring an angry face exploits a hardwired instinct to investigate a social threat. The content consumes the viewer. Every minute spent in the loop is a minute of time liquidated for corporate profit, fueling a machine that thrives on psychological fragmentation. The primary tool for maintaining this loop is the open loop, a psychological trigger that deliberately withholds a resolution. The brain prioritizes completing information. An open loop triggers a cortisol spike, a stress response resolved only by finding the answer. But algorithms compound this. Before one loop closes, they open a second and third, trapping your brain in an engineered cycle of tension. Notice the urge to reach for a distraction during those 3 seconds of silence. That discomfort is the physical manifestation of the engineered dopamine loop. This constant scrolling is a biological hostage situation. The brain isn't choosing to watch, it is reacting to an engineered stress reflex. These algorithms operate on psychological structures mapped a century ago by Carl Jung. They have simply automated the hijacking of ancient human architecture. Jung identified the collective unconscious, an invisible layer of the mind shared by all of humanity. It contains archetypes, universal patterns like the hero, the sage, and the shadow. The algorithm tests which archetype currently influences a user's psyche. For someone feeling a lack of agency, the feed offers hero content, stories of underdogs overcoming impossible odds to provide a vicarious sense of victory. The most effective engagement comes from the shadow, the part of the personality containing repressed anger, judgment, and unacceptable desires. Outrage content mirrors your unintegrated shadow. As you judge others on screen, the algorithm feeds the exact dark traits you refuse to acknowledge. Jung warned that until the unconscious is made conscious, it will direct a person's life and be called fate. In this digital context, the algorithm directs the user's emotional state by mining their own hidden darkness. Maintaining a persona, the social mask used for professional and social acceptance, is cognitively taxing. When that mask is dropped at the end of the day, it leaves an internal void. The lack of an active social role creates a moment of psychological vulnerability. Scrolling serves as an anesthetic for this emptiness. It provides a barrier against the internal monologue, numbing the discomfort of an identity in transition. Years of life are exchanged for these digital distractions. This trade happens because the silence of one's own mind has become more intimidating than the exhaustion of the feed. Jung provided a framework for when external meaning disappears. He argued that turning inward becomes a necessity when the superficial world fails to provide fulfillment. Facing this internal silence is difficult. It requires acknowledging the truths and traumas that the feed was designed to help you avoid. Reclaiming attention starts with recognizing this fragmentation. The goal is to move from being a data point back to being a cohesive individual. Your attention is the currency of your life. Go to the comments and name one digital habit that is currently farming your time, and describe what you will do with those minutes instead. Reclaim your focus.